Welcome back. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create pretest and posttest questions that can compare the results in a side-by-side bar graph. If you're new to Keypoint, you may want to check out the Keypoint Basics tutorial, where I built the question slide in this little presentation here. We'll be picking up where I left off in that video. Since this question is related to the content in slide 2, I'm going to go ahead and move it so that it can serve as our pretest question. I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the concept of question IDs. Whenever you're working on a question slide, you already know that these question options show up on the Keypoint tab. One of those options is the ID field. Every question in the presentation will have a unique identifier that Keypoint uses to track data and associate various charts with specific questions. By default, Keypoint will use combinations of 3-digit numbers like the 001 that you see here. Keypoint will manage those and keep them unique. However, you can also replace them with more meaningful IDs like pre-1 or quiz1 question 2 if you find it to be helpful. For now, I'm just going to let Keypoint do its thing. Okay, so we've got our pretest question, which is followed by my little one-slide lecture here. It's time to create the posttest. By far, the easiest way to do this is to simply copy the pretest question and paste it after the lecture slides. Notice that Keypoint gave this question its own ID of 001-001. All I have to do is change the title, and it's ready to go, except that I promised you a side-by-side comparison chart. To achieve that, I'm going to click on the chart so that I have all of the chart options on the Keypoint tab. We've covered some of these settings in the basics tutorial, but the one I'm interested in right now is the link to question button. Every chart will automatically show the data for the nearest preceding question if we don't tell it what to do. In this case, we want to select the pretest question and the posttest question by double-clicking on them or by using the Add button. Now when I click Done, we see that each option has 2 bars on top of it. Adding a legend is very similar to how we edited the chart labels before. Just select the chart and click on the Edit Legend button on the Keypoint tab. Turning on the Show Legend option and turning off the Use Default Text option will allow us to replace this text with something like pre and post so that it makes more sense. From here, it's all about PowerPoint formatting, like moving the legends to the top and maybe shrinking the font sizes here so that it's a little more readable. Let's run through the slideshow and see how this works. Obviously, we have our title slide, followed by our pretest question. We covered the participant counter in the previous tutorial. When I close the voting, I can show the results, showing the audience really doesn't know what the answer is during the pretest. I can go ahead and give my lecture. We've seen this slide a couple of times, so I'm not going to read it all out to you. And then we come back around to our posttest, and I can go ahead and throw in some votes and reveal the side-by-side result. In this case, we had some pretty good learning gain. That's all there is to it. Creating a posttest question with a side-by-side comparison is as simple as copying and pasting the question and linking the chart to 2 different questions. That same link to question functionality is useful in other areas of Keypoint, such as displaying team results. Thank you for watching, and please check out the rest of our tutorials.